Father had it. I had it. You have that power too.
Your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force. He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader.
Indeed, you are powerful, as the Emperor has foreseen. The Death Star will be completed on schedule.
You've done well, Lord Vader.
I've accepted the truth that you were once Anakin Skywalker.
That name no longer has any meaning to me.
It is the name of your true self you've only forgotten.
When I first knew him, your father was already a great pilot, but I was amazed how strongly the Force was with him.
I know there is good in you. The Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully.
You cannot escape your destiny. You must face Darth Vader again.
I can't do it then. I can't kill my own father. There is still good in him.
Then the Emperor has already won. He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
Your thoughts betray you, Father.
Your thoughts betray you.
I feel the good in you.
Your feelings for them are strong,
The conflict.
especially persistent.
What the hell, dude? Spoilers. I mean, come on.
That
That
was-
Luke's sister?
That was, or the fact that they burn them.
What the
It's like
hell?
the first shot. I didn't know those coming back to theaters. That is
It is.
awesome.
So this weekend, I don't know if it's so as of if you're watching this live. Well, hold on. Let me get a few things first. First of all, I grabbed this from Fragile Void Entertainment. Go check it out. They put this trailer together. It's a fan made trailer, which
I was about
looks
to ask.
like
Wait,
something Lucas
If it's
should have
fan-made, is
made.
the movie actually in theaters?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
The film
okay.
is in theaters this weekend.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so it is the 40th anniversary. Yeah. What year is it? We're in a time machine. We traveled
Right.
like 40 years. So
Can you
I-
imagine if you'd been in a coma for 40 years and woke up and
Yeah, and
first thing
it's
you
on the
did was
theater.
turn on this podcast and like, wait a minute, what?
What? Oh,
The
all
third
right, I
film's
missed
finally
it.
coming
Yeah.
out.
You've been in a coma for 40 years. I'm surprised you know what a podcast is.
Okay,
Yeah, how'd
fair
you get
point.
used
Fair
to it?
point. That's a good point.
So this person, they finish Empire Strikes Back. They were leaving the theater. They got hit by a bus,
Yeah.
and then boom. What was it? I guess 42 years it would have to be, right? Because
Yeah.
2 years
Right, yeah.
in the movies,
Well,
and then waking up
3.
in 2020.
And then
three because Empire came out in 80.
okay.
right. Yeah, it was 3 years between all the
Yeah.
original 3 films. Now then,
77 Star Wars.
who's the poor bastard that has to explain to them, oh no, there's actually 6 more films,
I think it's
and
us.
yeah, and 4 of them are really bad. So
The best one of those new 6 is Phantom Menace.
Let me tell you.
good
Hot
Lord.
takes with Kyle. We were not ready for that.
No,
I know.
no.
I know.
But yeah, you can go watch it this weekend. I don't know how long it'll be in theaters, but I know
They
it's
said
important.
till May 4th.
Yeah, May 4th. May
Yeah.
the 4th be with you.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's plenty of time. I know North Park around here has it.
Oh,
So it's only select theaters, but
don't tell about Jar Jar. Exactly.
hey, Jar Jar's been
Exactly.
redeemed.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
Plus, Jar Jar was always for the kids. So if you weren't, you know,
Well, and I'll be straight up. I defend Jar Jar. Jar Jar never bugged the fuck out of me like he did everybody else. Like I had no hatred for him, and I think he got the raw end of the stick when it came to the fans.
yeah, the one who was real annoying in that movie and was Boss Nass.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Look, I fall down on the side of the only redeemable characters from Phantom Menace are Qui-Gon and Ben Kenobi. That's it. Everyone else is pretty awful in that movie, and it's not their fault.
What about
It's
Baby
directorial
Greedo?
decisions. Huh?
What about Baby Greedo? He grew up to be like one of the best bounty hunters in the galaxy.
There was a Rodian who was a friend with young Anakin and Mos Eisley's, and everybody made a joke that was Greedo as a kid.
Oh,
okay. It was one of the 3 roles Warwick Davis had for that film, because he ended up playing the Rodian himself, actually in the audience for the speed race, and also one of the role he did, but I can't remember where it was.
It was R2, right? Or did they get
no? That was R2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the design is pretty interesting, but the voice and the accent.
Well, again, because let me rephrase this. Jar Jar may not get the raw end of the stick. The actor who played Jar Jar got the raw end of the stick.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, totally.
And Jake, what's his name, that played Anakin too?
The kid,
right?
Yeah.
Everyone, man, Natalie Portman just came out of that movie like she was probably the only one. That was like, so.
Well, it did kind of help launch Ray Parks.
That's true.
True. Yeah, that's
he
true.
made a whole career out of the 10 minutes of him being Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
okay, I'll add him. There's 3. Darth Maul was always kind of cool. So
we'll talk more Star Wars when we get to our main topic. But yeah, I just wanted to plug that out. So make sure to go check out their channel. I assume they make more Star Wars stuff. I was just looking this morning. For something to kick off the show, and that seemed really cool. I do agree, Darth Maul was wasted in the movies. Hey, but now they can make another movie with him, right? They're just making everything now. They don't care. They're just making everything. So
yeah.
But let's so I don't know if Clay's gonna join us. Hopefully he will as soon as he gets out of bed. But let's catch up. It's been a little while. We haven't all 4 been. I guess we still haven't all 4 been together. But let's talk some stuff. I'll start. I got a few things that I've been watching, and then I'll let you guys jump in. I'm sure Kyle's read a bunch of comics. I'm sure Josh has bought a lot of comics. I don't know if he's read them.
Read?
Oh wow!
Bought.
Big read pile. Nice.
No, this is from this week and last week. I still haven't read any of them. This is just from the 2 weeks prior. So
okay, great.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Kyle's notes. I do have something to ask you guys since y'all are the Trekkies. But last weekend, Apple TV released a movie called Ghosted with
I keep seeing
Ana de Armas and Chris Evans.
I want to see that. How was that?
Yeah,
it's interesting. I think if you're a fan of them, you'll enjoy it. It's your run of the mill spy thriller.
Yeah, I mean it's just a fun comedy or action romance, right? Okay, that's all I want. Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. So and I did as well. It is a little long. It's 2 hours, which is like I'm glad it did. I'm glad it's not in theaters. I'm glad I watched it at home. But yeah, that was nice. There's definitely some surprises that I think people will enjoy. Also, I went back. So I've been doing these retro movie reviews for the channel. And I watched the 2009 Nicolas Cage film Knowing.
Oh, Lord.
Did you guys? I don't know if you guys remember. So the premise of this film is that they open up a time capsule. This girl had written like these numbers in some paper. And Nicolas Cage ties that out to like all the major catastrophes in the last 50 years. So more things are coming. First of all, so this film is like National Treasure, but with like sci-fi stuff in it.
No, National Treasure was actually fun. Knowing was just a piece of crap. I'm sorry.
I watched it. I enjoyed it. You can go check out the full review on the channel because I'll be doing more of those.
It doesn't help my Nick Cage argument.
I really liked it. I thought I don't know why I missed it. I feel like by then I was already watching a lot of movies, so I don't know how it flew under the radar.
It's Nick Cage. That's why.
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like the early 2000s were Cage's like wilderness years, right? Like he's just kind of like doing random shit. Yeah.
Like, I will defend National Treasure. National Treasure is a lot of fun.
National Treasure is a national treasure. Yes. agree.
Yes, exactly. No, I enjoyed that film too, but it just like there was this like period of time where he was just making weird random stuff until he came back around with the intentionally making weird random shit that's really good,
Well,
and then doing big weird shit.
In
So.
his defense, I just read an article. He basically said, if there was a time when he was taking all the crap films because he was trying to get himself out of debt.
Yeah.
I get it. Hey, and no shame in the hustle.
No, there's not. Not this day.
That was
actors gotta act, So
his main job was making like big Hollywood movies. His side hustle was making small direct DVD movies.
In Hollywood, they call that A-list Ubering.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, and a couple. I do want to talk about one more thing, but I'll wait to see if Clay jumps on because I think he might be into that. I also watched the first episode of a new series on Apple TV called Drops of God.
Oh.
It is based on a manga. It's about wine. So the premise is like this wine person, like like really famous in the wine world. He passes away, and as he leaves his inheritance, he makes it a contest between like his protege and his estranged daughter. Like they have to identify these wines with like I don't know. It seems like a very niche premise, but the drama is really cool. And then the show is shot in French, Japanese, and English because like they kind of take you all over the world.
Cool.
And it's really good, and I enjoy the manga. I didn't finish reading it, but I mean it ran for like 10 years, so they have plenty of material to adapt, and the show looks really quality. So if you have Apple TV, I recommend that on top of your your other stuff like Ted Lasso and Mythic Quest and stuff like that. So all right, let's move along. All right, Kyle, I'm gonna let you go first, and then we'll transition into maybe some comics with Josh.
I'm just gonna start off. My big thing is Picard season 3.
I've heard it's really good.
Holy shit! Don't bother with season 1. Don't bother with season 2. Just jump straight into 3, and you're gonna be.
You can do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's only one character in there. Her name's Rafaela, her first was season 1 and then season 2. But you really don't need it to understand get into season 3. And this is not only is the story good, but it is a love homage to all of Star Trek. I mean, they even get an instance in there where they even mention Enterprise. So where it's like, I mean, you have everything. The main villains, I think I've said before, partial spoiler, and anybody hasn't seen it, but the starting of the bad guys is the Changelings, not the whole Dominion, but there's a small sect of the what do you put? I missed what he said.
Sorry, Leonard Kim's like, no, watch all 3. What the
fuck? 1 and 2 are kind of hard to get through, but 3 is if you're a Star Trek fanboy, there is nothing. It starts off strong, and you go ahead, and the thing is, by the time you get to the end of episode 1, you're like, I need episode 2 now. I don't want to wait a week. It draws you in that much, and the stuff they do. I mean, they tie in DS9, they tie in Voyager, they tie in the original, they tie in some of the novel stuff. I mean, the stuff they do with this is just, it's like, I mean, I hadn't been this excited since watching, and it was last year, but watching Strange New World season 1, and I'm looking for it. And the new trailer for season 2 looks amazing. But like this season 3 of Picard is like, yeah, I mean it's my freaking jam. They bring back the original Enterprise D.
It's okay, Shelby. Don't worry.
It's all right. We all need our rest.
No, he's gonna get an earful. I'm just saying it's not your fault.
I mean, he's already getting it now if he has the volume on.
Poor Clay. We love you, Clay. Don't worry.
No, we're gonna talk shit about Clay until he jumps on.
Normally, I'm the one who's late, but now Clay's taking me at the point of Kyle.
Yeah. Sorry, Kyle. Continue with the Star Trek.
But I mean, it's just everything that you've got. I mean, they have Ensign Rowe makes an appearance back in the series. They have Tuvok makes an appearance. I mean, oh no, here do you well, okay, Daniel, you're not gonna know this, but you'll know what do you go? It's you'll know what am I trying to think of? Not best of both worlds. It was the 2-part, the first introduction of the Borg, where Picard becomes Locutus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you remember Commander Shelby?
No.
She was the girl who basically wanted Riker's job, but ends up becoming his number one when he takes over as captain of the Enterprise.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He makes an appearance in the series. So
Wow.
they're digging deep into the lore of TNG, bringing back.
And they're bringing back like all the actors as well.
Oh yeah, no, the official actors. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I talked to my buddy Omar is a big Star Trek fan, and he's been telling me all about how excited he's been all throughout the season. I saw him the other day. I told him I was gonna try to get him like on one of the episodes. So I think Josh and I've already told Clay, like, if you guys watch season 3, let me know and we'll just have a show and I'll invite him on.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll try to watch it.
Watch it.
I'm just I guess I can kind of I feel like it's not gonna hit as much though, because like I don't know all the other stuff, right? Like I would,
and that's kind of my place too. I mean, my deep dark secret is I'm not as well versed in Star Trek as people think I am. I've seen a handful of TNG. I've seen a handful of the original series. I've seen a handful of the movies, both original and next gen.
No,
so that's it. Gesundheit.
If you have any like nice YouTube videos recapping some stuff, like if you find some, post them on the Discord.
That would be good.
Name out to a YouTube channel, Trek Culture.
Okay.
Trek. You can go on there, and they're amazing. They're a group out of Britain, but I think they have a U.S. branch now too. But they start off with a channel called What Culture. They also have Doctor Who Culture.
Oh yeah. I watch What Culture for wrestling and stuff.
They're exactly. Yeah. But their Trek Culture is amazing. They make all this stuff, like the 10 best worst. Like they'll have one where it's like the 10 worst characters that should have been major characters in there, and they deep dive in. But they also do episode stuff. But they're amazing to watch. And if you have any questions about who somebody is, go to that channel. You can find out there.
Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Hey man, I'm sorry. I get sleep when I can.
It's all right. We're just messing.
Yeah, we're just glad you're here, man.
So yeah, I was telling you guys. So we'll plan out. We'll start watching Picard. Season 3, and whenever we're all done, I'll ask my buddy Omar if he wants to come and join us. And
I'm not going to hit on 1 or 2. I don't think you need to watch it. Season 3 is the one I think if you're going to watch one of them, watch season 3, because that means 1 and 2 don't really. I mean, it's Star Trek, but it doesn't kind of dive into the whole picture of Star Trek. 3, they bring everything to kind of, like a closure for the TNG cast, but they're tying everything for every series they've done. Like I was telling them, it's even a small mention of Enterprise in season 3.
But is there like a character or emotional arc that taps into 1 and 2 that we would need to be aware of to get the full brunt of it, or
not really? The only thing you need to know is like I said, there's a character in there named Rafaela who becomes sort of Worf's Worf is sort of her handler. And basically, and if you want to know a little more about her back character, you kind of get to know a little bit about her. But if you want to know a little more about her, you can watch season 1 and 2. But it's not detrimental to watch season 3.
Okay.
Cool. All right, cool. We'll set that up. So following on the Star Trek, what else, Kyle? What else you got?
I did read volume number 2, number 7, where basically, it's Cisco coming back. He's in charge of that one. And again, this is tying in the whole universe, because he's got Data as his number 1. Worf was on there, but now he has basically left because Kahless, the Emperor, the Klingon Empire, has this weapon where he's destroying the godlike beings in the Star Trek universe. So Worf has basically stolen the Defiant, has taken Ensign Ro. Why am I blanking on her name? Klingon engineer from Voyager, Spock, and Lore to go after him. And so now he's got Beverly Crusher as sort of like his conscience on the ship. You've got Tom Paris, who's a pilot of Voyager. He's piloting the ship. You got Scotty, who's the main engineer on the ship. So it's tying new characters, but also all the old ones, and it's kind of fun because now they're going into Bajoran space. Yeah, there we go. They're going into Bajoran space. There we go. They got everybody I was just mentioning. They're trying to find the Bajoran orbs, which there's different orbs, one for time, one for power, one all these things, and they're like these weapons they're trying to find. And I think they have a new member. I have to go back and see if it's him, but they have another new Bajoran security officer who's on the ship with them, and I think he's the security officer off of Lower Decks. So they're even trying to animate. Yeah. So they're tying everything together.
So this is like a really new comic then. Yeah. I thought it was like older. Okay.
It takes place. Right? Well, see, it takes place 3 years after the end of DS9. Because
Okay.
Cisco joined the Prophets, and then 3 years later he comes back and ends up on the station. So this is like whereas Picard takes place almost 15 or 16 years after like where Nemesis ended. This one only takes place 3 years after DS9.
And
Okay.
Josh, this is written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, who are also doing the Steve Rogers Captain America.
That's right. You mean
And then it's all leading to this
you mean
countdown
this
to
one?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Whoa, MODOK.
Yeah, it's a pretty. I usually don't get these alt covers because they screw up being able to see them in my box, but I had to get this one.
No.
This one's great.
It's okay. My friend Chris, who manages Keith's Comics in Carrollton, pulled a Daniel. Like, so they just released. Well, no,
That's what
okay,
it's called?
I read
I like
it too.
it.
It's a verb now.
They had the new Green Arrow #1 out, which was amazing too.
Yes.
But he got all the covers because he's the manager of the store. He actually bought all the variant
Dude,
covers for
It's
Nice.
so fucking good too. That's
well.
See him.
And I want to talk about this, but here's something great about it. This was
Whoa.
only supposed to be a 6-issue
Can't
limit
see
series.
it.
But, yeah, I can't. There we.
it's foil.
It's
sorry.
very hard to see. Yeah.
I only have the foil one.
What's great is this originally was always supposed to be 6 issues. They just announced they're making it 12 issue.
Oh.
I
Nice.
do. Yeah. I can see why. And if you want to see why, go check out my review on the channel.
It's amazing.
Cool.
Oh,
I-
no, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I want to touch on one thing. I skipped one thing because I wanted Clay to be here because I think he will probably know a little bit about this. So I also watched the show on HBO that just started called Death and Love with Elizabeth Olsen and Jesse Plemons.
My
Yes,
wife
know.
watched the first episode last night.
So are you guys familiar with the real life story? Like it happened in Texas.
Yes,
So
yes.
I knew Clay would because I think it's based on a book co-written by the
Joe
guy you
Bob
watch on
Briggs.
Shutter. But yeah, Joe Bob
Yeah,
Briggs.
it's John Bloom is his real
Really?
personality, and he wrote crime books, and he wrote this back in the day,
Yeah.
and it's already been done once. That's on Hulu, and it was done once back in the day. So this is the third time they've adapted this story about this murder in the suburbs.
So it's really interesting. It takes place in Wiley, Texas, which is like,
Right
like
here.
a car ride
Right
from
here,
all of
yeah,
us,
not
really.
far. Yeah.
So they even drive by a motel, and the premise is that this small town wife has an affair with. Now I don't know the real case, so I don't know what happened. I'm assuming somebody gets killed somewhere, and that's why it's a crime drama. But they drive by. I think they drive on 75 at a Como motel. Like I've seen.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yeah, I know.
original.
Motel on
Yeah.
75.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same one, because that's not really on the way to Wiley. Or yeah, I don't think it's the same one, but it's the same chain. So I was like, oh, this takes place in Texas. This has Elizabeth Olsen, like, and then
Well, the second one had Jessica Biel in it, which was weird because they had done her hair up all like curly.
oh, that too. Okay, I do remember watching.
I vaguely remember this too.
I do
Yeah.
remember watching.
So yes,
let
if
me-
you come to Texas, all the women here look like Elizabeth Olsen and Jessica Biel.
Let me address some chat. Yeah, I can't wait to watch. Yeah, Shelby, you guys should definitely watch it. Yeah, another. I mean, that's the Clay lives at the last drive-in.
You know what?
That's
It is
right.
news to me that he writes true crime under a pseudonym. I had no idea.
No, that's his real name. John Bloom is his real name.
Shut up! Really?
Yes, John Bloom's his real name. Joe Bob Briggs is his persona that he
Oh,
does.
I had no idea. That's amazing. All right.
Yeah, but he's
How-
just
he's like,
he's been
how
Joe
do-
Bob for so long online now that people
Yeah.
just call him.
He's
Joe.
like, how do
Yeah.
I make it more Texas? How do I get it? Well, I'll just get 2 first names. That's the first step.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
And then Leonard Kim. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I made a review without any spoilers for the first episode, which this is the only one I've watched. But you can watch the first 3 already. But yeah, that was really. I mean, it was.
It's
I
going
don't
to
wanna
be
look
it's
more
going to be
into-
interesting watching her go from WandaVision, imitating sitcom life,
Yeah.
to imitating murder porn life.
You know-
Because that's what these shows are. They're adapting a story. So most of these dialogues don't really take place.
Wait.
And
How about watching Kelly Kuko go from Big Bang Theory to was it the new one?
Oh yeah, the flight attendant.
Flight
Oh,
Attendant.
flight attendant,
I
yeah.
haven't watched it.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen ads for it.
No, but I'm saying like you want to talk about a total 360 of what her character is like. She is
Yeah.
nothing like Penny. I mean, this is like holy
She
shit.
got range.
Yeah.
I will say, like Clay mentioned, this show is super horny. So I guess because people didn't have Netflix back in the 80s.
Yeah,
But man,
it was
these
just
people,
chill.
yeah, these
Wait,
people are
wait,
boring.
hang on. So I guess does HBO? I thought it stood for home box office. Does that actually stand for hot buttered orifices? I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
All right. You're welcome. I just made that one up in my brain.
You can have it HBO. Actually, they're dropping the HBO. They don't even
Yeah.
need it anymore.
You're
It's
right.
gonna be
It's
called
just gonna be
Max.
Max.
In Max, yeah. I won't go into all my
People who-
condom jokes. I promise.
Yeah, from the people who didn't bring you The Wire, The Sopranos. It's the people that brought you 90 Day Fiance,
Yes.
90 Day Fiance the other way, 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. It's
89
Max.
Day Fiance. We couldn't make it to 90 days.
And it's not TV, but it's also not HBO anymore, unfortunately. So
It's not TV, it's maximum crap.
That is
Okay.
so. I had no idea. This is amazing. Thank you, Shelby and Clay. I'm
I'm gonna clip this out and title it Joe Bob Briggs
Unmasked.
Unmasked. Yeah.
Unmasked.
And I'll find the Scooby Doo type of and just paste his face. Anyway, sorry, Clay, Kyle, back to you now that got that out of the way.
Was it not this past week, but the week after? I actually went to the theater and saw Air, which I thought was really good.
Okay.
I love that film. It was so
That
good.
was amazing. Like I was telling somebody, like nothing about that film I hated. Like I think the pacing was great, the acting was spectacular, and it takes place in '84. I mean, the stuff they got, like the buildings to make everything look still like from the '80s.
Yeah.
The music. I want this soundtrack on vinyl. But their choices of one-hit wonders for this movie were fucking like, oh my god.
Yep. And I'm not even like a sneaker guy either. Like,
I am, but it's like, but this scene and not even having Michael Jordan in the film, but having him in the film was kind of like, oh my god. But if this doesn't at least get a nod to the Academy, whereas I don't give a f about the Academy Awards, if this doesn't get a nod to the Academy, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Affleck did it once. He could do it again with this.
I was about to
he's a
say,
real good director. He doesn't do
Yeah.
a lot of movies, but he's a good director.
He clearly has a niche that he likes, which is the weird lone guy that kind of goes into a situation and like disrupts and fixes everything, right? Because that's kind of what happened with Argo, right? And it's happening here in Air. Does he only make movies that are one word that start with A? Is this a thing now?
So we still can get a Batman out of him, but it has to be called just Batman.
All I'm gonna say is Matt Damon really does a spectacular job, and I was really impressed with Chris Tucker too.
Chris Tucker, like,
Really?
I mean, they're
Oh
all
yeah,
Chris Tucker and what's his name, Jason Bateman. Like,
yeah. Oh,
the-
Jason
the-
Bateman. Yeah.
The cast is great. Like, you'll be even though it's now, I mean, even though it's the Heartless Corporation, you'll be rooting for Nike.
Well,
They
it's
should
not-
just put little kids making shoes at the bottom so you
They-
know what you're cheering for.
that was not addressed in the movie. I think that was maybe at a later date.
They should do an end credit scene where the kids are just making the shoes with their little
The
hands.
Jordans. Yeah.
That's so bad.
They're just all hurting and they're like 10. They've been there for 5 years.
And then every character gets a giant back tattoo. Okay. Oh yeah. I was like, what is Shelby referencing? But Ben Affleck has that giant dragon in his back.
Yes.
All right. Well, Kyle, let's hop around to
Yeah, go for it.
someone else. We'll go back when we'll all do comics at the same time. Josh, do you have anything that's not comics?
One thing,
Okay,
and I talked about it a bit on our Discord chat, but not in the show. So I was sick last week, and one day when I was home, I was just bored and achy and just trying to find something to do. So I was going through my kind of backlog of just random movies I've bought. And in a bundle, again, if Clay brings the weird, I bring the old. In a bundle, I had 1980s Flash Gordon. And I'm like, I'll watch that. Now, here's the crazy thing. I was certain I've seen this movie. I have not. What? I clearly have seen like bits of it when it was on TV, just like flipping through, but I never sat down and watched the whole thing.
How?
I don't know, but holy crap. Talk about a horny movie. That movie is very horny. Yes, and weird and old, which I think also defines me, Legoland. I'm old, weird, and weird old. But
we'll take this as a compliment. Yeah. Thanks for
It
watching.
is, but I have to say, it is a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there is one bit I shared with you guys that just cracked me up because it is genuinely funny, where Timothy Dalton's character is chained up. This is towards the end of the film, is chained up in like the dungeon along with Dr. Zarkov. And out of nowhere, like there's all this action going on, it just cuts to them. And there's just a beat of a pause. They're just like hanging there. And then Dalton's character turns to Zarkov, and they're both blindfolded, and says, "So tell me again about this Houdini," right? It's like it comes out of nowhere. It is pitch perfectly delivered, and I just had to pause the movie because I was laughing so hard. Anyway, it's really fun. It is not good. I do want to stress this: it is not a good movie,
but it's fun.
But it's fun, and it really doubles down on the fun. Like it kind of understands. We're not making Star Wars. We are making something that's fun. And I also want to give credit. The look of the movie, I think, it's really back and forth. There are some moments that look really good, some that look unbelievably cheesy. But I love the look of space with all that like colored, gaseous water that they use to make it, like the opening of Doctor Who, because it just looks so different from any other sci-fi movie. It does make all the blue screen look very obvious, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's just a fun film. Any scene with Brian Blessed, I mean, he's basically playing the same character he plays in Blackadder season 1.
Alive?
Yeah. It's so great. Anyway,
the only thing that would have made that conversation better about, instead of Houdini, if he had asked them, "Can you tell me more about this James Bond?"
Yeah, no, that was very much foreshadowing as well, because he didn't become Bond until what, like the late 80s. So
okay. He hadn't been Bond.
He hadn't been Bond yet. No. This is 1980. So
Moore was still A View to Kill. Bond was still A View to Kill with that was the one with what do you call
Moore,
it?
right?
Christopher Walken.
With who?
Christopher Walken is the villain.
Oh, I was like, it was Bond.
Roger Moore is
Christopher Walken was
Moore is okay.
Yeah, the last Roger Moore film, A View to Kill, I think was like maybe 83 or 84. Yeah, he was the villain. And
and then after that, you get there's only one Dalton Bond, right? Oh, there's two?
Living Daylights and A License to Kill.
Okay, and then after that is Brosnan.
Exactly, with GoldenEye.
Yeah. All right, okay.
95 with GoldenEye.
Interesting.
95 is GoldenEye? Jesus. All right.
I was a senior in high school.
Okay. I was I was in college already.
Do you want to argue with Wikipedia?
No, I don't. I really don't. I'm just agreeing with you.
To me, this is the best Flash Gordon we're ever going to get.
No. Season 1 of the Filmation series was actually really good too.
Which I was reading online. That series is actually what prompted them to make the movie. It was already under development, and then when the movie became a big thing, they shelved it until after the movie came out, and then they released it. So,
maybe, because I know, but I think the first season came out in '79. So depending on when the movie came out, I know Gordon was supposed to be 80, but they made 2 seasons. The first season of Gordon on Filmation was like it was a serialized series going through. But then by the time they got the season 2, they added a small little dragon character, hence Orko or something, and maybe more like episodic kind of stuff. You know,
God, the 80s suck. Anyway, all right. You always have to have a cute little sidekick. That's how we got Gadzuki.
At least we got Godzilla here in the States.
With Gadzuki.
Which that's a whole nother story if we ever want to talk about the Marvel Toho crossover, what they got.
Oh, yeah.
We got.
Yeah. But anyway, that's basically all I've been watching, or kind of watch. I just started watching Mythic Quest, but I'm only like 3, 4.
I need to see it.
How are you liking it?
I'm really liking it. So I felt like the first 2 episodes are kind of rough.
Yeah.
But by episode 3, it really finds its voice, and it is the episode where they go to StreamerCon and then the B plot is the girls who code show up for the tour, is one of the most cringy things I've ever watched. There are moments that where I viscerally felt bad.
It was very
while laughing. Yeah,
Scott's tots in vibes. So
yeah. So
I like it because I've never really been like a Always Sunny person. Like,
oh really?
I
I love Always Sunny, but they're very different.
Funny, yeah, they're very different shows. But I mean, Charlie Day writes a lot on this one, Mythic Quest, and then you got McElhenney.
Yeah, it's Day, McElhenney, and then Megan Gantz, who writes for Sunny, created this. Now,
she used to run Community and Family.
And if you listen to the Sunny podcast, like she's a big feature of it, which is great. So she comes in and kind of does stuff as well. Now, having said that, because of that podcast, I did for the first time ever bring a trailer for us to react to if we have time.
Oh, great! Because I didn't have one. Excellent.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So anyway, I dropped the YouTube link in the.
I see it. I just saw it on the notes. Yeah. Great. All right. We'll come back for comics for you as well. Well, I guess for everyone. So, Clay, do you have any not comic stuff?
Yeah. I got to watch an old film that I've been a fan of. Did you guys ever watch Looker from the 80s? It's based on a Michael Crichton story. It's really good, but it's really bad. It's
like Flash Gordon.
Yeah, well, it's 81's version of computer animation.
Oh,
so it's kind of a neo-noir with Albert Finney and Susan Day. So Susan Day's all grown up and out of the Partridge Family, so she's a model in this.
They just
movie.
kicked her out of the family.
Yes, no more Danny Bonaducci either. But so Albert Finney is a plastic surgeon who's been doing like these little tweaks on these women who have started to die. And he starts to investigate it. And what it is they have they've advanced computers enough that they scan in these women and then just kill them and use their computer replacement to sell stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's very much like current with what's happening today. They have like eye trackers on commercials when you're watching, so they see the spots that you're watching so that they can put the product there. And they've established that these women are perfect enough to sell products. So it's just a bunch of hot women being murdered. So it gives them a chance to make Susan Day do what?
I said, tell me more.
Tell me more.
It gives them a chance to make Susan Day nude, and then they just do this 3D scan of her body. And then you're like, Albert Finney is so old, and they're trying to put those two together, and it's kind of creepy. But it has a great synth soundtrack. It's the other thing that they didn't think of is, well, what if we just make computer models of people? Then we'll just put that on a set. So they had these sets at the end piece where they're all fighting, where they've projected computer people into commercials, but then they're live action people having a firefight. So there'll be a woman complaining about her floors being mopped, and then a guy will show up with a gun looking for other people in the middle of it.
That's kind of cool.
They never imagined a computer-generated place, so they have stages for all these places that computer people will appear on and sell you products. But it's an old film. I love the soundtrack. I'm really there for that. And the same thing, I rewatched The Batman. I want to kind of live in that Gotham space that he's created.
Yeah.
I love the darkness, the wet, gloomy, the soundtrack, like really sitting in that ambiance of what Gotham City is through that whole movie is just so great.
I agree. I feel like The Batman is the second best example of Gotham on film, first still being Batman 89.
Yes.
It has the second best soundtrack, the first being Batman 89, right? Michael Giacchino does such a great job. And I have to say, this finally arrived yesterday, which is the Mondo Werewolf by Night vinyl. Yes.
Wait, did we all... Was I not in on the email that we were getting the vinyls?
I guess you weren't. I'm sure I posted it. Yeah, with artwork by my favorite Franco.
Francavilla.
Yeah,
I always have a problem with this last thing. Shelby had ordered that and forgot it, and then it just showed up. She's like, "Oh God, I forgot I ordered
Holy
this."
shit! Did we really all get this except Daniel? I feel so bad now.
No, I didn't get that. I didn't even know.
Oh,
that.
okay.
I went to what do you call it? Record Store Day and went to Josie Records last Saturday. And got this.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice. Wait until my recommendation at the end, because mine is also a Record Store Day one. So that's really cool, though.
I got some else, but when I found this in the soundtracks, I was like, bye.
Yeah, right, exactly.
yeah.
Oh my God, twins.
What else did I watch? For my show with Mark, it's going to be a really weird one. I watched for free Welcome Home, Brother Charles. The only reason anyone would know this movie, spoiler alert, is this is about a man who gets vengeance with his penis.
Hold on. I have the perfect clip for that.
You have a clip for this?
Of course.
What the hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
The reason they have to censor out it's because he's using his penis.
Right, exactly. Which is strangely also wrapped in black leather. So you have to.
But Welcome Home, Brother Charles is free online. You can find it on Tubi.
I'm good.
If you want to watch it. It's just it is a weird film, and like the first 30 minutes, like nobody really helped him, like showed him how to tell a story. So it's a lot of scenes that you're trying to put together to figure out what happened. No glove, no love.
Safety
That's
first.
the best.
Very, very true. Very, very true.
But if you want to hear us talk about it, I'll be on Unsocial Spectators with Mark going into a deep dive. And then I watched 2 horror movies that are also free on Tubi, The Cured and Risen. Now, The Cured is a cool zombie flick that takes the idea of not killing the zombies, but trying to cure them.
Oh.
And it has people that it's cured. Huh. And they can remember everything that they went through. It has Elliot Page when she was Ellen Page, and it's an Irish film. So she must have got it funding because I don't recognize anyone else in the movie.
Okay.
But it's about the release of these 2 guys, and everyone's kind of adapted to zombie life. And so he's returning home as one of the cured, and everyone hates them. So they're treated like refugees, and that's kind of the symbolism of these cured people. No matter where they go, people hate them. And for one reason or another. It was okay. I mean, she definitely brought it to another level. It was a new take on zombies I hadn't seen. It was all right. But then I watched this movie called Risen, and I kind of just had it on in the background. But it's about aliens and hybrid aliens. It's really weird because the movie takes place when this alien ship crashes in the small town. Everyone in the area is killed except for the people who are closest to the ship. And they're reincarnated and brought forth to bring this message about evolution that half the human race is already aliens and they're evolving. And the whole movie kind of at the end is the evolution. It basically just talks about like who survives and who doesn't, and how they go almost like Cro-Mag to Neanderthal, but they tried to do it in a movie and take Earthlings to another level. I don't know. It was really weird, and I couldn't get into it till the last. So they don't do a great job of getting there, but the ending, I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see here. And I went to my library, a local library, who libraries have sales. They have donated stuff. I got one of my favorite terrible movies, Hurricane Heist for $1.
Hurricane Heist. Wow.
That's the heist of the century there.
They needed a hurricane to pull off this heist, and
Wow.
that is the basis of their crime spree that makes me laugh.
It's got Toby Kebbell in it, right?
Yeah, who I love. I'm a big fan of his. So
Yeah,
like
same.
I'm pulled in for him. Ben Cross, who was in Chariots of Fire.
Chariots of Fire. Okay.
And
Oh, Legoland.
what'd she say?
We all have seen weird movies.
I think I've seen her. Why am I like this?
Because when you see a movie called Hurricane Heist, you're kind of like, how did this get made?
At the end of it, they flash you with the Men in Black thing, Shelby. So
Is that right? Yeah.
You know what? I forgot to bring that up. In Looker, they have a gun that does that.
Really?
The prototype looks like the one that they're designing that he looks down on paper looks like the one from Men in Black, but it's a gun that they use to basically mesmerize you, and then you're just there for so long. Like it's part of the hypnosis that they use in the commercials to make you buy shit.
Okay. Huh.
I'll probably rip through these like this week. I'm on my Akira kick.
Nice.
And then I just bought a bunch of VHS that I am kind of collecting, but I don't have a VHS player, but like I love the artwork and the stuff on it.
Yeah.
Kind of curating like the best of VHS stuff that I can get.
There is definitely a nostalgia to it, which is why I love the cover of the Batman 89 hardcover, because seeing that just brought back a wave of memory of getting the Batman 89 VHS, right? It just, I get it.
Yeah, and just like I follow Drew Struzan on Twitter, and he used to do all the great posters. He did Harry Potter, Indiana Jones. I mean,
he did the Star Wars when they brought them back, right? The not the reboots, but
special edition.
Special edition. Thank you.
Yeah, and so like the Indiana Jones is his art, but movie poster art is becoming a dying art. You know, they said basically what it's come down to is Netflix has kind of decided this is what we need. This will sell a movie, and it's putting the star or the 2 stars or the title real big. It has nothing to do with art in the way that they were doing it in the 80s and 90s.
Well, and even so, in my one of my classes when I teach complementary colors, I always just live Google search blue orange movie poster, and about the 2000s up through, it's kind of still going on, using the complementary colors of blue and orange. We're just everywhere, right? Looper used it, Star Trek used it, Star Wars used it, the Dark Knight movies used it. Like it's everywhere to the point where it almost kind of became even beyond a trope, like just like part and parcel of just the design of film posters. So
yeah, it's really sad to see it kind of go away. So
the Michael Bay tone, yeah, good point.
Yeah,
look at me, everyone.
Cowboys and Aliens, yeah.
I'm a college professor now.
Hey, this is literally what I do in class, so you are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, look at that. Individual ones.
Oh, the Dark Knight.
G.I.
The Dark Knight.
This might be a fun like watch list. Maybe not fun. Fun's not the right word.
It's not the right word.
Interesting watch list. If you just like grab a picture of like a random picture of all these posters and you got to watch all of them. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Oh, that's okay. No,
yeah, sorry, I distracted you, Clay.
That about wraps it up. I just I kind of got into this VHS kick, and so it was neat finding stuff. They even had Batman and Batman Returns, but the cases were so bad that like I wouldn't pick it up. So it's
and you want them for the cases because the tapes will eventually not work anymore, right? Because magnets or whatever.
Oh, they degrade really quickly.
Yeah. Depending on how much they've been watched, it may just be fuzzy. So
and I think
I probably will watch them one time, and that's it.
And just like time also just corrodes the tape. Like
Right.
it's not technology that was meant to last.
Which, and again, this is old men shaking fist at cloud. I do not understand why audio tape is coming back. It is literally the worst audio medium. Those things will not last. So
I love my
hipster
music
culture.
super compressed.
yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
All right, let's
All right,
talk about comics.
That's all I got.
Let's comics it up. Josh, we'll go back to you, and then we'll hit Kyle, and then
Okay. So I've got like I finally caught up from the 2 weeks I was off, whatever. I assume you guys have talked about some of these, but I just want to bring up a couple. First off,
I'll sound the buzzer every time we hit one.
perfect. All right, every one of them, sure. Love Everlasting #6. Did you guys discuss this already?
No. I think
Okay.
I just read the trade.
Yeah, you're the only one reading it on singles, I think.
Yeah, this was the issue I needed. This was the issue where it embraces its meta-ness and then disrupts what it's been using 5 issues to set up. I think my main complaint, and it may be because I'm reading it month to month, is I don't think it needed 5 issues before this to get here. I think it could have used 3-4 issues to set up the same idea. Yep. But issue 6 is the issue I needed. Like, it's like, okay, now I need to know, because it's finally moving past this like cycle it's been in, which it's intentionally been setting up. So that was really good. I really like that. Tell me, and you may not have, because I think only you and I are reading it. Did you guys talk about the end of 8 Billion Genies?
I haven't read the end yet.
Man, what do you think, Daniel? Okay,
nailed it.
Yep,
did it perfectly. I
wasn't worried, but the way that issue 7 ends, and you're like, there's one issue and they're going to wrap this up. They do it. It is so great. I can't talk about just a really profoundly meaningful ending. Yeah. Like it's not a throwaway or anything. Like it really wraps up everything.
I already know it's going to be on my best of this year stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Halfway through, I knew it.
Well, and I like the fact that it's 8 issues. It's done. It's a perfect book, and believe me, it's going to be on next year's comic book club list, because you don't need a bunch of backstory. It's not progressing. It's 8 and done, and it's a complete, really, really great story. So yeah, highly recommend. Just so good, and I just want to give props to the fact that it's one of those rare things where in the very last issue, they introduced a bunch of really critical ideas that I think any other lesser team it would have felt rushed and a little like tagged on, and it doesn't here. It works perfectly. So yeah, really recommend. Let me see. Anyone else reading Cold War?
Not yet. I will, but not yet.
All right.
American Cold War? Yeah, I am reading this one.
Okay. I read the first issue. I've got issue 2. I haven't gotten to it yet. Yeah, it's interesting.
It's also showing the fact that like we have one Captain America that may be willing to kill compared to the other one.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like, again, I stopped reading the Sam Cap series, and just because the story didn't capture me, this feels much more like it's spinning off of Sentinel than Symbol.
Yeah.
For those that did anyone keep reading the Sam story?
A little bit, but it kind of just fell flat for me.
All right, because this feels much more like it's tied into what I've been reading anyway. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm still a little. I haven't read a crossover like this in ages, so I'm kind of still getting my bearings. I assume you talked about Planet of the Apes last time, Clay?
Yes.
All right, cool. Anyone else reading I Am Iron Man?
Yeah, I read the most recent one. Basically,
which is, I think, this one.
Wait, that's number. Is that 4 or 5?
No.
No. This is I Am Iron Man.
I know. That's is that number 4 or 5?
This is just I Am.
No, this is I Am Iron Man. It's a separate series of individual issues that are just Iron Man at different moments in his career.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. Okay.
This again was really fun. Again, these are great one and dones. You can hand them to anyone, maybe knowing that just a tiny bit about the moment in time that they're referring to. But this one is really great. It's like it's got like a psychic whale. Is all I'll say. And at first I was like, what the hell is going on? And by the end, it's like, that's really cool. So, yeah. So, again, I'm really into these very kind of 80s style. Everything is contained in this one issue. You don't need anything else. I can just hand this to someone. They can enjoy a story. You know, it's not Civil War that they've already, like, published the list of every issue I have to read to know what's going on, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, and then finally, I'll just do one more. I continue to enjoy Black Cloak. It's a bit of a slow burn, I will say, but the art is great. There was a moment in just the last issue, the one before this one, that that ends on kind of a cliffhanger and then gets resolved in this one. And it was really like, oh my God, what is happening right now? There's a lot of lore building, but it's very organic, which I like. If you like a combination of fantasy, but also like urban fantasy with a little bit of sci-fi, like it's very...
I hear it's a little Blade Runner and a little fantasy, kind of like all blended together.
Exactly. It's kind of like Shadowrun, but I would say more fantasy than sci-fi to a certain degree. Like kind of invert the percentages of Shadowrun, and that's sort of like this. And it's also just a really interesting murder mystery, which is always a hook for me. So
I read the first issue and it didn't really click with me, but I mean, we Image sent us all the previews, so I want to go back. I think I'm gonna read it collected. I think I'm gonna try it again when the trade's out.
I honestly think that's going to be the way to do it, because I will say issue 1 is it is a little almost overwhelming with the amount of lore you're getting. By the time I got to the end of issue 2, everything began to sort of click into place, and then from that point on, it's just been a delightful read.
And the art is a little bit different. I feel like I also have to get used to that.
Yeah, but I really dig it. It's very, it's very animation style, so almost like cell shaded to a certain degree. And I really like it.
Yeah,
so.
like very not a lot of lines and stuff.
Yeah,
Cool.
And then if you want, I can just go through real quickly what I picked up and haven't read yet, and then I'll be done.
Sure, because we might have read some of those, so maybe we'll touch on that.
Yeah.
Clobber in Time.
Yep.
Intentionally did not get the mushroom cover for you, Danny.
Thank you. I also did not buy that one.
Right, yeah, and also I like this one. So this is what you were talking about, Kyle.
Yeah.
Invincible Iron Man, which continues to be good. I had to get the romance cover issue of Hellcat number 2. So that was good.
I'm upset that you like the romance one. Okay. Well, I'm just kidding. He also has that.
Yeah.
Did you guys go shopping together this week?
We didn't. But Cold War number 2.
So are these its own standalone series, or are they coming out in the issues of Captain America?
This is coming out in the issue. So this is Symbol of Truth issue 12.
It's like an alpha, and then it's gonna go into the Captain America series.
Yeah. So I believe the alpha was a standalone, and then they're doing 2 issues each of Symbol and Sentinel, and then like an Omega, which is the end. So. And again, we'll see. I looked at the list and said, okay, that's not too much. I can invest in that.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange number 2, which, come on, I had to get because it's got Nightmare on the cover. Why wouldn't I get that?
Cool.
Yeah,
that's a really cool cover.
I like that. I'm continuing to read The Excellent, even though I'm pissed off about the numbering. So
I think you may be the only person I know that's reading that series, Josh.
Really? I'm really enjoying it. I mean, and it's not just because of Allred's art. I mean, Allred and Milligan have always been a good team. So
it's such a nostalgia kick back to their old X-Force days.
Yeah,
it is. But again, it's still very relevant to the here and now, like the way it plays with social media and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it did then. It did really good commentary, social commentary.
Yeah, and it continues to do so. Unstoppable Doom Patrol.
so
That
good.
was good.
It is.
Is it good? All right. Yeah, I really liked the first issue. Again, I have no idea what the hell this new DC Dawn of DC shit is, but I like it.
Well, not even that.
Don't worry about it.
Peacemaker plays a prominent character in that series.
Oh, really?
Wild. It's wild, yeah.
All right. And then I think I'm the only one reading this. The Saturday morning cartoons.
I read the first one.
You sure are.
You sure are. I really liked the first one. I'm not a huge fan of the art, but
Yeah.
I like the way they're playing with the continuation of the story that seems to ignore the semi-canonical last episode, right? So, and just because of the art, I picked up Dead Romans #2. I figure it's probably still going to be very confusing.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I'm still reading that.
I mean, it's like having Sienkiewicz back in my life again. I really love it.
Wow.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what the artist does next. For sure.
Yeah, me either. And then finally, is anyone else reading Red Zone, or is it just me?
Yeah, just you.
Just me. Okay. It's a pretty cool spy thriller. Again, I've only read the first issue. This is #2, but the first issue really ends in this. You think it's going to be a like a buddy cop kind of thing where you have the really well seasoned spy teaming up with like the nebbish professor who is an expert on 80s Russia. And then at the end of the first issue, semi-spoilers, that's not what happens. Because basically it only ends up with the nebbish professor, and you realize he's more than he's been letting on. So it's
a Transformer?
I'm sorry?
Is he a Transformer?
Yes. It's actually the story of Bumblebee. I know. So,
Yeah,
and then
they're more than meet the eye. So that's
they are more than meets the eye. And then I continue to read Dead Seas just because it's interesting. So
very cool.
Yeah, and that's it. That's everything I have to read over the next week.
I only got a couple things, and then we'll hop out back to you guys. So I haven't read this, but I did pick up this facsimile of Warlock.
Yes.
Because
for Clay,
Lego gets it.
Yes.
It was a good joke. I agree.
I agree. It was a good joke. I ran with it. So
yeah, I got this. We're getting Guardians next week, so
which is getting rave reviews. Like people are like, it is the best MCU movie.
The thing that really the thing that really gives me confidence is that they're doing so many like early screenings, which means Marvel knows they have something good on their plate. I think because for the previous movies, they always have like their release or whatever, like their premiere.
Yeah,
but they're actually doing like a bunch of critic screenings and stuff. So I think they know.
Well, I like it is one of the most recent teaser trailers actually has Stallone in his actual closer to MCU Starhawk outfit.
Yeah.
Would you be happy if the Guardians end with this iteration and the Stallone Guardians take over?
That would be amazing.
Oh, but then you'd have to get a new Yondu.
That's fine.
R.I.P.
Well, we seem to have a new Yondu in that last trailer, right? So
Kraglin.
That's true.
That's true. All right. So I'm still reading the. Sorry, Kyle.
They've already announced in the MC, like the actual comic book universe, that basically current Yondu is, or let me see, MCU Yondu is actually a descendant of the 3,000-year galaxy Yondu.
Okay.
Sorry,
make it work. I'm sure. I'm still reading the Riddler Year One.
How is that?
It is fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. All right.
I think Paul Dano really knows. Like, it feels like he really
gets the character,
built a backstory for his character.
Yes.
And then Subik's art is just phenomenal.
I love Subik. Yeah.
I love the sequence of like the him watching through the window. There's also a little what do you call it? There's a puzzle in here that you get to kind of solve as you're reading this issue.
Oh wow!
Like a code that I deciphered. It's not very difficult, but like you have to kind of be paying attention. And Mike Mignola did a cover for it.
Oh, what the fuck? I missed this.
Yeah, so I had to pick it up because it's Mike
Well, yeah.
I finished Sins of Sinister Dominion. What a fantastic event. Karen Gillan
Okay.
fucking killing it out of the park. This thing is thick. This is like 60 pages long. But I really, really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite things that are happening. I know you guys don't all love the X-Men stuff that's going on right now, but this one's good. And then like we mentioned earlier, I'm trying to figure out how to show you guys this.
Yeah, that is really hard to show on camera.
Yeah,
Green
that
Arrow.
is-
Yeah.
You know what? Is this why I'll say for Clay, Kyle, and I, is this why our eyesight is so bad? Just all the light reflecting those foil covers in the 90s just blinded us? Yeah.
The foil. But Green Arrow is so good. It's a really great reintroduction to Green Arrow after what happened to him in Dark Crisis, and then also the Green Arrow family. Like everyone is in this book. So very excited for that. Let me see. I'm trying to find the actual cover so you guys can see it. But Kyle, did you read this?
Yes, I did.
What did you think? What did you think of the first issue?
I loved it. Because it starts off with Ollie waking up on a beach again. He goes, "Not again!" And
Right.
not on the island that he got stuck on. And then it jumps to Gotham City, to where you have a motorcycle race where you have Canary, you have Arsenal, and you have Connor Hawk all chasing down these villains. And as they get there, they get off foot, they start fighting them, and then this acrobat ninja kind of character, like maybe age 12, wearing a cat mask, comes down and saves Arsenal. And you realize everyone's like saying, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And she's about to leave until you see Arsenal talking to her, and you find out it's Leanne, who's still alive.
Who's the daughter of Arsenal? Yeah. For those that don't know, but she took on the persona of Chester Cat.
Yeah,
like her mom.
Cool.
So yeah, it's really, really cool. And as you can see here in this cover, I think Peacemaker and maybe this might be some kind of what do you call it? Suicide Squad or Task Force X type of. They haven't really come into play, but I think they will.
We've got Red Arrow. We've got the other Speedy, Mia.
We have the new Red Canary, and then I think Merlin's over here at the top. I think this one got cut off, but this Merlin.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Onomatopoeia too, which is wild.
Yeah, that's a great.
I mean, they're jumping into the. And I was telling a friend a couple days ago, I'm actually loving the fact in the DC universe that we now have not just Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. We have the Super family. We have the Bat family. We have the Green Lantern family. We have the Flash family. We have the Arrow family. I love the fact we have these families where the one hero has now engulfed a whole kind of group. So
yeah, it's really, really cool. Like Joshua Williamson, he's such a deep lore DC writer that he just loves bringing all these characters. And as Kyle mentioned earlier, this was originally supposed to be a 6-issue mini. It is now expanded to a 12-issue.
Wow.
Onomatopoeia is a villain.
I was about to agree with Legoland. Yeah,
by Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And he was writing Green Arrow.
A fun introduction.
Yep. So hopefully Kevin Smith's also reading this. He's now reading this Green Arrow series, so that'll be fun. That's all I read. Oh, and the only thing I haven't read this, but this Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red.
I read a little bit of it. The first story, it's actually kind of cool. Some of the stuff they got in that.
Yeah. So that you read the Jason Aaron, that's gonna be like a 4-issue story. Everything else is like standalone little stories.
Okay. So the first one where basically the guy captures them.
Yeah. So that'll be a 4-part thing.
Okay. All right.
And then I also read the New Alien #1. I don't have it with me because it's actually in my room because I was reading it earlier. Declan Shelby, he's telling a really cool story about this family who's like on this frozen moon and they're collecting samples and they run across a face hugger.
Oh, of course.
And they bring it into the lab.
Oh God!
But the cool thing is obviously they don't know what it is, but they have to report everything to their company. Wayland Yutani buys the company that the scientists are working for, just so they can have access to the face hugger.
Oh,
so the real villain is the corporation taking over the scientists.
Really? Isn't that that's Writer's character in Aliens?
Yeah, that's the main. As of issue 1, the main threat right now is just Wayland Yutani and capitalism.
And capitalism.
Can we mail some face huggers to some CEOs of some companies? I have a list.
There you go. I've noticed.
So yeah, it's really good. Let's see. Kyle, do you have any more comics?
I don't think. I think I had one or two. Oh yeah, one thing, not comic, because I have one thing that's not comic I want to talk about.
Sure, go ahead.
Last season of Flash.
Yeah, but this one particular episode, like you could actually kind of let go this whole season. It's just, but they did episode 9 was a return of Stephen Amell as Oliver.
Oh, interesting.
Speaking of Green Arrow, right?
Yeah, and this was a nice for me. I mean, because the way we're looking at it is this is kind of Flash season 9 ending is pretty much the rest in peace of the Arrowverse. I mean, we have Gotham Knights, but I think that's in its own universe. We have Lois, Superman, and Lois, but I think that's, they even said I think that got bought by another station. They're going to go to season 4, but some of the company got that to do that. Stargirl's done. So basically, Flash season 9 is the ending of the Arrowverse. And I think, in my opinion, episode 9 was a nice send off because Bloodstain comes back, takes over Wally. Wally mentions in the episode that basically he's, he has this thing where he's able to project his consciousness into the Speed Force. But what he thought he was doing is he told Barry at one point that he thought he was actually he was able to contact different alternate realities. Bloodstain takes him over, ends up killing Barry. Barry ends up on Lian Yu, hence he's he's dead. And there is Oliver as a Spectre, and so we dive more into him being the Spectre. And you find out that basically he's been when he even tells Barry, because this whole time after Crisis, Barry and everybody thinks that the multiverse is dead and that their Earth is the only Earth. And he goes, yeah, when I restarted the universe, I actually started a whole new multiverse, and that's where, oh shit. So like when they started the season off, the Red Death that came in wasn't from a different alternate timeline, it was from a different alternate Earth. And so he basically says, it's from, she was from Earth 4165, and Barry goes, oh, you're numbering them now? It's like saying,
yeah. It will as we saw last week in Clay's clip. It will also live on a little bit through the Titans and Doom Patrol.
Exactly, yeah.
Because they just started to add everything. Yeah. But I think those also end this year. So 2023 is going to be the end of the Arrowverse.
But see, that's why it's the perfect time to do Crisis. All these universes are dying.
Yeah.
And save a few characters and put them in a universe.
Yeah, but I think they've decided to clearly do Flashpoint instead of Crisis. Like Flashpoint is the Crisis for all this. So
yeah, but it basically ends off where he comes back, tells everybody, he even comes back, gets to say goodbye to Diggle. He has a good send off with Barry and everything. And this is for me, not the season of Flash, but this episode 9 is the perfect finalization of ending the Arrowverse. That started with Arrow episode 1.
Does it feel like these guys are going to come back? Like Stephen Amell, will he do maybe 1 or 2 more episodes?
Well, I don't know, but they sort of leave it open the fact that if he wants to appear in something else, he can.
Well, because I only asked because I want to watch these last few episodes of The Flash.
Yeah.
I tried watching the first half. It was fine. It was okay, but I didn't like it. It really once I figured out who Red Death was, because that was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like I was not interested anymore in the resolution of that story.
They brought back Batwoman to help take her down. Episode 6 had Dreamer from Supergirl do a sort of like a crossover episode with.
Okay, so it looks like these are just kind of one-offs. Like the guest stars are one-offs. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it eventually, but
episode 9, in my opinion, episode 9, because it was like it's the perfect just cut off because ML comes back. It's a nice little last thing we get. He gets to finish off the stuff. They even mentioned the green box that Diggle gets at the last episode of Arrow.
I'm glad they addressed that.
Huh?
I'm glad they addressed that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just small stuff. It was a nice little setup. It basically does that little knot and bow to finalize the end of the Arrowverse, in my opinion.
That's crazy because it was such a long time. But Leonard came in the chat. I'm still confused with it. I'm sure we are as well. But technically, all the universes still live on because of Gunn's. Yeah, I mean, Gunn said everything's everything because we know that Ezra's Flash, interacted with Grant Gustin.
Exactly.
So they'll have a main universe. Everything else will be Elseworlds or whatever. I love that, and I feel like Marvel should be taking advantage of that. That's probably a whole different show.
We are. They're going to. That's what they're going to be doing. Especially now. I've even been hearing some of the rumors what they're going to be doing with Deadpool 3.
Yeah, that might be a good kickoff point for that. So, all right, Clay, do you got any comics you want to talk about?
Yeah, just real quick. I got the same Hellboy cover.
Hellcat?
And she does talk with Damien in this issue, which I thought was kind of a fun.
Wait, Damien who?
Hellstorm.
Oh, Okay, I was like,
Yeah, you're like,
Wayne?
you're like Batman.
I know. I was like,
That's a cool crossover.
I was able to pick up a couple of the comics, so I got the Avengers Forever, which is a big, story arc that's going into Avengers Assemble Omega.
yeah, within the new
Uh,
team formation.
Yeah, Aaron Cooter's art, I'm a huge fan and love it, but I'm gonna have to put those together and read them in order to get to that Omega issue because that last one is issue 9 of it. Huh?
Yeah, I'm waiting for Marvel Unlimited to do like a reading order for that. And then I'm very excited. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the new team with Jed McKay's Avengers.
Yeah. Scotty's going out big, and it's very cool and just a fun read. Like just how he put this Avengers team together. Went back and pulled a bunch of old books, Agents of Atlas, because I was looking because I wanted to go read Gorilla Man. I didn't know much about him, but he showed up in Agents of Atlas, so I pulled this, and Greg Pak kind of goes into some of the history of Atlas and Gorilla Man in the back and the fun that they had putting this together.
Yep.
Got this for the Scotty Young cover. Not a fan. Avengers Beyond.
I was gonna read it, and then I saw that Greg Land was doing the art, and I'm like,
That pulls me out quicker than anything. Like at least in here, it looks like he tries a little more than his typical like.
It looked better definitely whenever there's like more masked characters because I think I have the same issue right now with Romita. Kyle, I don't know if you've been reading Spider-Man.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, I really tried to like it. Well, but I feel like a lot of it is Marvel editorial, like cramming all this bullshit in, and I'm sure I'm not the only one upset about it.
Well, you also come to find out that like Mary Jane with the 2 kids is actually the mother of the 2 kids.
Yeah,
when she was stuck in that time. So they get Peter and Mary Jane get brought into this alternate universe. You find out why they're not together anymore and what happened with that issue 1 where half the Bastion building's destroyed. That they get into this dimension.
I hated that issue.
And when he gets back there, time has passed. So he's basically she's been in a relationship with this guy and they've had kids, and so it's been multiple years that she's been stuck there, and that's why they're in a relationship. Yeah. Hence, I'm going to wait and see where it goes because they've sent issues 25 and 26. The current artist that's doing 26, they basically told him, whatever you do, don't show. And this is Marvel telling him, don't show up to any cons because people are probably going to hate you.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's a Dan Slott level of.
That's so weird when fans get out of control like that. Like when Nick Spencer got attacked for Hail Hydra.
Yeah,
I mean
the Spider-Man fans are insane too.
Oh yeah.
They don't know. I don't know. Somebody they need to go. What is it? Go outside and touch some grass.
I mean, I'm at the point where normally I'd always be like very wholly on the Mary Jane Peter relationship, but now they're starting to bring me in on a possible new history of having Peter be in a relationship with Felicia. So I'm willing to see where it goes.
Yeah, what's their age difference? Has that ever been decided?
Whose age difference?
Peter and
Felicia and Peter. Yeah, because I know when he was in high school, he was seeing her in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, that was different. Yeah, no, he was definitely younger. There was at least probably about a 8-year gap between them in the Ultimate Universe. But in the current lineage, they're about the same age.
Okay.
Here's the meme, Kyle. This is pretty funny. It's the so this is the guy from the other dimension. Like they put it in here. That's really good. That really got me good.
Nice. I have to say, we've been watching our dinner time show is New Girl, and every time I see Jake Johnson, I just think of him as Peter Parker.
I like that Nick Johnson's. Anyways,
he's the most relatable Peter Parker.
Absolutely,
we derailed your comics.
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
Beginning of Groot Fall in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's kind of got an Old West look to it, like they're getting the band back together. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm always excited for a Guardians story.
Super on board with that one. I don't know. Guardians and me just are not on the same. Kind of with Spider-Man, same thing. Like I try every new iteration and it's just not doing it.
Yeah, And as I've been cataloging, I'll pull out old books and pulled out like an old Swamp Thing from '91. It was an annual when they used to just do annuals and have like a standalone story.
Right.
This is so disturbed and just horrific. I loved it. It's like these 4 stories of vengeance of people who have been dumped in the swamp. Yeah, and like even one of them is like a child.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it gets real graphic of like this man who says if you would have just behaved, and pulls the kid out of the trunk and just throws him in the swamp. And
who wrote these?
Nancy Collins.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and it just is. It's great Swamp Thing stuff because all the bodies that have been put there have this whole body horror come together as this giant monster and seek vengeance.
Oh man.
It's so fun. Because we watched that horrible Titans episode, I saw that they were doing Brother Blood this season. So I pulled out some classic Teen Titans Brother Blood. I mean, you can't go wrong with Mark Wolfman and George Perez.
True.
And then you have the Origin and the Annual, which also has like another story in it with Donna Troy, kind of like the old. Remember when Kitty's Fairy Tale, where the X-Men had a story that took place? There's one very similar to that in the Titans Annual that was cool. Shelby grabbed me a couple of these at her store that came in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Daredevil mini. These are Chris Bocciolo covers. Not that great. I'm kind of bummed that his art isn't really showing. It just isn't great for these covers. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just like kind of the face and stuff. But this is my first Chip Zdarsky Daredevil stuff, and I dig it. It was only a 3-issue mini, so I got to find the 3rd issue.
I would recommend you go back from the beginning of his run because that's all tied in. Like, it's like he did a part of it, and then he splintered off into the Devil's Reign. He did that little miniseries for Elektra. Then they relaunched Daredevil, and now it's finally coming to an end. Chip Zdarsky's having just like a fantastic moment. I got to read Batman 900 that's coming out next week. Fucking
really nice.
Oh,
I love that expression.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, what else?
And then she also Shelby pulled me some books from her shop, Area 88.
Oh God, are those Eclipse?
These are Eclipse books.
Oh,
yeah. Eclipse was a publisher like back in the 80s. They put out like Airman, Miracle Man, and they did. This is one of the early adaptations of Area 88 that never finished. This was like the 4th adaptation of manga, I think, at the time in the 80s. And it never finished. They never were able to finish it up. Have any of you seen Area 88?
Yeah.
Okay. How long is it?
That much I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
Is it a TV show or a movie or what? What's
It's an anime. It was anime from the 80s.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is it about aliens?
No, it's about like 1980s, like Air Force, like fighter jet pilot fighting.
And pulled from the archives, X-Men 2 Nightcrawler, the backstory from the movie.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and actually Chuck Austin wrote this, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna suck." Not too bad. Not too bad. It gives you the whole backstory on Nightcrawler being in the circus. Amanda Stefton is still his stepsister, but the Brian Cox character that what's his name?
Yeah, it's he's Stryker, right?
Stryker, yeah.
So
Stryker's
Logan Roy.
So Stryker's in the book, and this shows how he took Nightcrawler before the beginning of the X-Men and basically
give him the serum.
Trained him because like he puts him in a position, he makes him a prisoner, has like his soldiers beat him up and then say, "Hey, can that teleportation power kill anyone?" And he talks about his character more like, "I would never kill anyone." And then he puts that stuff in the back of his head where he can control him, and then gives him a knife and lets him go crazy and tells him what to do and stuff. And so it's really great. it uses his relationship with his stepsister Amanda as his motivator because he's always loved her, and in the book she's kind of a hoe. And so
wait, does that like a ho ho or did ho mean something else back then? I'm trying.
she sleeps around the Carney folk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
isn't this just the plot of Freaks?
yes. Well, he uses his memory of Amanda as this love story. So Kurt always thinks that he's like been with Amanda and that she's brought him to this place where he gets captured, and they just break him mentally, and they're like, no, that's all in your mind. We've been playing with your mind, and she's never loved you. She's not here.
Wow.
Like they just mentally break him as a person.
That's why he's all messed up when Storm and Jean finally catch him.
Yeah. So it's one of the few that kind of like goes straight into it, gets really dark, and explains because at the last page it's like, let's get this guy ready to go see the president.
Hey, still one of the best opening sequences in any comic book movie.
Any comic book movie.
Yeah.
Luna, shut up.
Hey, Luna has opinions too, all right, Clay?
She says Guardians
green.
2 has the best opening. We debate this all the time.
Luna said Team Striker. Luna said, you better go watch Succession because Brian Cox is an amazing actor. And I agree. Succession.
We always knew that. Again, the original Hannibal Lecter.
Such iconic roles as Hannibal Lecter, William Stryker, Logan Roy, the voice of McDonald's.
Yeah. So what's the worst thing his character has done in all the movies? I mean, you have to go to Hannibal first, but I feel like Stryker taking his own child and making him a prisoner and a weapon is pretty up there.
I mean, did we see him eat people in the Hannibal one?
No, he's not that extreme.
But he did. That's still pretty fucked up. So
you know what would be great though is if McDonald's put the two together and you had Hannibal McNuggets.
Is that why the McRib only comes around every once in a while?
Please enjoy this McRib with nice Chianti and fava beans.
Yes, and fava beans.
All right,
that's it. That's it for my comics.
Well, good because we're running pretty long. So we didn't really have a main topic, so we kind of pranked everyone with that thumbnail on the video. But we are going to talk a little bit about Return of the Jedi because it is, like I said, the 40th anniversary. Did you guys get to go watch that in the theater?
Oh yeah,
hell yeah,
oh yeah, yeah. I have and I lord this over my brother, who is a year and a half younger than me, and is a huge Star Wars fan. I got to see all three of them in the theater. Ooh. Now, you might ask, wait, you were born in 75. How you were 2 when Star Wars came out? No. When Empire came out, they released Star Wars into the theater. So I got to go see Star Wars in the theater with just my mom. Then we all went to go see Empire at the drive-in, and we were terrified. So I vaguely remember the end of Empire, and then I've seen it since, and then definitely went to go see all of Return. I think we saw it more than once in the theater, actually.
No, I know I saw it many times.
Can't your brother just time slide back to 83 to watch the ball in the theater? For those that don't know, Josh's brother is Cable.
Yes, very true, very true.
Yeah, I saw them all in the theater. I saw Star Wars at the Medallion Theater that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh my God!
I saw Empire at the North Park 1 and 2 that doesn't exist anymore, and then
they built a mall on top of it.
Yeah, and then I saw Jedi at Town East 6 by the Town East mall that doesn't exist anymore.
So every theater that Kelly goes to, they shuts down afterwards.
Right, yeah.
But you can go watch Return of the Jedi in theaters again this weekend until May 4th. We said, right?
Yeah, May 4th.
Yep.
Fun.
I'm gonna check Alamo and see.
It's probably the one I've seen the least. I was checking my letterbox. I have that one ranked as 3 stars. The average is 4
I can
stars.
see that. Yeah.
It's
not the best of the original trilogy, but it's the one I remember most.
Yeah.
Because I was there for all the media blitz. I very, very distinctly remember the primetime special event documentary of the behind the scenes where they showed you how they did Jabba. And I saw that before the movie came out because I feel like they were using that as again, like part of the media to like, I'm nearly convinced it aired the week before the film came out. I could be wrong, but that's in my brain what I remember. But yeah.
Well, I pulled up an article from Yardbarker with 20 fun facts about this film. So I figured we could just talk about that. It's 20 facts you might not know about Return of the Jedi. We'll see about that because Kyle's in the show.
Exactly.
The first one is that I guess the first one's kind of a twofer. Lucas could not have his first choice director.
Yeah. Well. But no. Yeah, he wanted
David Lynch.
Yeah, exactly.
Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So according to this article, he wanted Steven Spielberg. But because Lucas had quit the Directors Guild over Empire, Spielberg was having a feud with the Directors Guild as well, and this led to him being to Spielberg being banned from directing this film.
Interesting.
And then the second is the thing you guys just mentioned, that he wanted David Lynch, but it ended up, Richard Marquardt ended up directing the film. So I can't imagine. Oh man, a Return of the Jedi by either Spielberg or Lynch, I think would be sick.
Can you imagine David Lynch's Jabba? Just think about Harkonnen from Dune. That would have been his Jabba, right?
Well, we were supposed to get like two different variations of creatures on Endor. We were supposed to have the Ewoks and like bigger, like giant creatures, which I think they originally made into the duologues for the animated series.
Well, wasn't I thought originally rather than Ewoks, it was supposed to be the Wookiee home planet.
The Wookiees, yeah.
It might have been. It might have been.
Yeah, I think they changed that. So it might be part of this article. So the other thing, the title was changed. Lucas originally wanted to call this. He had originally titled this "Return of the Jedi," but his writing partner.
No, Revenge of the Jedi.
Well, his writing partner didn't like the title, so they changed it to Revenge of the Jedi, and then eventually they would return it back to.
Which wasn't like, don't there exist these Star Wars comic adaptations that still say Revenge?
Well, not even that, not even comic adaptations. They did a whole bunch of like merchandising with Revenge of the Jedi. Like I've seen like Storage Wars and stuff like that, where they've had jackets with Revenge of the Jedi, posters with Revenge of the Jedi. They did a whole bunch of marketing before they even released the film, and then they had to change it to Return of the Jedi.
Interesting.
Yep. We didn't. So the next two are about Han Solo. We didn't know if Harrison Ford was coming back, hence why he was in Carbonite. And then Ford didn't want his character to live on, and I think that's been the same for over 40 years, 30 years now. He finally got his wish back in Force Awakens.
In Force Awakens, yeah.
As you guys mentioned, the Ewoks were a late addition to the script. This was originally supposed to be the Wookiee planet. So
okay.
Which we didn't get until Old Republic.
Yeah, the Attack of the Clones.
No. Old Republic, the game. You go through. Yeah, and you go there, and I believe that's the first time they explore it. I could be wrong. Man, I'm such a nerd.
All right, Kevin Baker pulled double duty on this one. He played not only R2D2, but also played Poplu, who's one of the Ewoks. So that's pretty cool. What if they had scenes together? How did they pull that off?
I think they had multiple little people because there are teams of like multiple Ewoks. And
I mean, that was Warwick Davis's first acting role. He's like, I think only like 16 or 17 when they did that.
Guy, and then shortly thereafter, he did Willow, right?
Well, yeah, Jedi was 83, Willow was 87.
Okay.
This is the first film with Ian McDermott as Palpatine.
Yeah, because they had previously.
Previously, it had been played by Rick Baker's wife in a mask, which is insane.
That's nuts.
This film also introduces a third actor to a body for Vader. So in the first two films, David Prowse played Darth Vader, who I believe recently passed away, if I'm not mistaken. Like I think in the
So
last
yeah.
year. And then we also have Sebastian Shaw, who plays the version of Anakin that we see in the original cut.
Another actor who got.
I'm still. Can we just get rid of those remasters? I hate them.
You know what? I bet you in a few years they might do that. Just re-release the original one.
I like the remasters for one small thing.
All right.
Jabba's palace scene where they sing.
Oh, that was kind of okay. That was kind of cool too. No, I was gonna say is Empire. Oh, we get a little more of the Wampa. I like where we get.
Okay. No, that I can see that. That's true.
You get a little bit more Boba Fett walking in the background in the remasters.
Right, but it's just like it bugs me to no end that Lucas just couldn't embrace what the original films were.
Well, they did the same thing with Boba Fett. I mean, originally the voice actor from Boba Fett in Empire, and I guess the only Empire was, if you ever saw Josh, you might know this, but All in the Family had the second half. It was Archie Bunker's place.
Yeah.
The bar he ended up buying, his bartender was originally the voice of Boba Fett.
No. Yeah. Oh, I did not know that. That's amazing.
They changed it to where now they have the actor who plays Boba Fett went back and redubbed his voice with that actor's voice.
Of course. Right.
This one's funny. So you guys know how a lot of films don't use their real title, right, while they're in production?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So this one was codenamed Blue Harvest.
Blue Harvest.
But this wasn't only to like keep the press away. It was to avoid from like businesses like raising the prices on stuff to work with them. If I'm gonna work with the third Star Wars film, which we know makes a lot of money, I'm gonna charge them a little more, right, than just a regular old run-of-the-mill film. So that was really interesting. Also, Lucas didn't want the Rancor to be a puppet. There's a lot of puppets in Return of the Jedi, including Yoda and Jabba the Hutt. But the Rancor is also a puppet that's just filmed at high speed, so there was a practical effect. But Lucas wanted somebody to actually put on a suit, kind of like Godzilla, like how they were doing Godzilla back then. But ultimately, it was not working for the look of the film. So.
That would have been hilarious. I mean, how Jabba is basically a puppet. I mean, he's run by like what? It's like 5-7 people. There's a lot of puppeteers. But
well, yeah, you're right. The next thing is that 6 people are required to move to puppet Jabba. It requires 6 different people.
Oh my god, there is so much of my brain that I could be using for truly good purposes that is just filled with totally unnecessary Return of the Jedi trivia.
Let's see. I'm looking through some interesting one. This one just says, "Food helped bring Jabba to life." I don't know what that means, but okay. The sound effects artists and designers for Jabba the Hutt slithering around, they made that sound by running their hands through a cheese casserole.
Ew!
Makes sense, yeah.
That's disgusting.
I think sound mixing and sound design is like, if you ever see those videos, I don't know if you guys have seen those videos of kind of how they do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like finding those sounds is really interesting.
That's fascinating.
This is also the first movie where the term TIE fighter is introduced. Even though the ships were in other films, the first time they were referred to as TIE fighter.
No, that's not true. Are you sure about that? I swear to God.
I mean, I'm just reading. You have to take it up with your part.
Well, because I was starting to wonder, like in Star Wars,
I think they call it fighters, but not TIE fighters. Which
okay, because Vader said at one point, like, go get, and I thought he said, but he just says ship. Go get my ship.
Yeah.
There's one where they come out when the Falcon comes out of light speed. And there's another ship coming out, and I think it's Obi-Wan goes, that's a short range fighter. It doesn't say a TIE fighter. I think it says it's short.
Yeah. Okay.
The TIE, which stands for the 2-ion engine fighter, right? That's what.
Yeah.
But Chris Morgan wrote this article, so if anybody has any problems with any of the facts,
well, he'll be hearing from me.
Anyone else ever bothered they're called TIE fighters and not bow tie fighters?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I did for a while. I mean, they look like bow ties, right?
No, I've got one here. And Josh, you may have known about this one, but there was for the longest time, and they sort of went back and fixed this in the remastered. But for the longest time, there is everybody used to say when Jabba's speaking, there was one point in the dialogue where he's doing this all, ho, 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 ho. He actually goes to Han and says, ha, ha, ha. Now I can butt fuck you too.
Uh,
and I don't know if he actually ever said it, but it's one of the things that when you hear that thing in your mind, you listen for it, it sounds like when he's speaking.
You can't not hear it. Yeah, exactly.
And in the original format, when he does that line, there was no subtitles. But when they do the remaster, there's a subtitle they add in and goes, and now he's telling Han and Chewie, haha, now you're bantha fodder.
Okay.
Which is still pretty close. I'm just saying, you know.
Well, speaking of lines that change, in the original script, Akbar would say, "It's a trick." But after a test screening, then it was changed to the famous line that we all know: "It's a trap."
It's a trap.
It's a trick.
It's a trick.
It's a trick.
Can you imagine if now we had like stickers and T-shirts with his face that just said "It's a trick"?
The release of the film was moved to coincide with the anniversary of the release of the first Star Wars film. So it was moved up 2 days. That's interesting. And it was the highest grossing movie of its year, which makes perfect sense because it's a Star Wars film.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. They make money.
Right, yeah.
And it won a Special Achievement Award for in the technical Oscars. It was given, let's see, just the trilogy as a whole. We're giving a Special Achievement Award for that. So interesting. Clay, you missed out a good fact, and this is the one I want you to know because I feel like I need you to have this information.
Okay.
The sound production for Jabba the Hutt slithering around was them running their hands through a cheese casserole.
That's the exact face I made.
So that's what that sound is. There's some other fun stuff, but I feel like that's the one that you should really. I don't want you to miss out on that one.
Yeah,
It's just like cheese and noodles.
You make a casserole. You know what? Test it out. Make a casserole. Make a casserole and then play it. Like play the movie on mute, and then you just add the sound effects.
I would rather just drag a chip along some queso, not my fingers in a cheese casserole.
Why does every time Jabba slithers around we hear a crunch at the end?
You know, so when they added that BS CGI Jabba to the remastered New Hope, did they also go into cheese casserole when Han steps on his tail?
Yeah, and just go.
I hate to do this, but I gotta head out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
We're just gonna,
Good seeing you, man.
watch that trailer that
Cool.
Josh showed. But
All right.
yeah, go
I'll
ahead.
catch you guys later. All right.
Take it
Later.
All right, Josh, you want to sit while we're watching while I put it up?
Sure. So, again, I'm a fan of the Sunny podcast, and the guys on there were talking. They just came back after a pretty long hiatus because they've been filming the new season, and they were talking about how on the same day next month, Glenn Howerton's BlackBerry is released, where he's playing the CEO of BlackBerry. It's like a sort of like Air. It's like a business.
Yeah. Okay.
Docudrama. And then the very same day, Charlie Day's directorial major motion picture debut called Fool's Paradise drops on the same day. And they were joking because Charlie Day's been working on this for like 8 years, and Howerton just finished wrapping up this BlackBerry movie, and yet they're going to premiere on the same day. So I'd never heard of this, and I went and I tracked down the trailer for Fool's Paradise. It was nothing like what I expected, and yet very much feels like Charlie Day. So I thought I would share it here and see what you guys thought.
All right, let's check it out. All right, Here's the trailer for Fool's Paradise.
The patient has lost the ability to speak. He's not deaf, and he's technically not mute. With the proper amount of care, it's possible that he could regain his understanding of the world, his ability to speak.
What's our first course of action?
Well, the state is not going to pay for any of that, so we are going to put his ass on the first bus downtown.
What do you mean he won't get out of the trailer? Get in.
Is that Ray Liotta?
Yeah. You can tell he's been working for a while.
He's a dead ringer for you.
Man don't look nothing like me. I mean, look at him. He's too short.
Get finished the day for you. Action. Cops. Latte pronto.
Excuse me, Mr. Pronto. Can I call you Latte?
Latte. Latte pronto.
Latte Pronto.
Is that your name?
Amazing. You and me are gonna do big things, pal.
And respect, bro.
Move! Stars coming through! Welcome to your team. You got me, your agent, got your manager, lawyer, publicist, personal assistant, plus we got you an intern.
You have got a big film premiere tomorrow night. Does that make you a little nervous?
This was a gift from Prince Harry. It was one of the original Knights of the Round Table sword or something. Can't really remember because I wasn't listening when he gave it to me.
Jason Sudeikis.
Bing, bang, boom. A million Disney fiddles playing. Bing, bang, boom. Began to take my breath away. And bing, bang, boom. I'm jumpy as a jumping.
The phone is not ringing.
Don't worry, pal. I'll get us back on top.
I know you think what's been happening to your career is accidental. Everything is by design.
Who are you really, Latte Pronto?
Bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang, bing, bang,
And toy time.
Gotta get down, big time.
That looks interesting. I don't know that I would go to.
This looks like being there with Peter Sellers mixed with there's something else popped into my head during the trailer. Now I'm like losing it, but yeah, Peter Sellers and being there.
Can see that. Little bit Bowfinger.
Bowfinger, that's it.
Yeah, but I also kind of feel like watching Charlie Day play the main character. It's very clear he is kind of embodying Chaplin, right?
Okay, so I was gonna say,
I would say Buster Keaton.
That would work too. Yeah. I don't know. It looks wild, and again, for some reason I heard the name of it, and my first thought was, because I feel like there's so many directors that when they make their directorial debut, they make like a riff on a rom-com. Yeah. So I kind of went into it thinking it was that, and then it was just like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing, right?
I love the bit at the beginning with the doctor, like he's just like copying his gestures.
Yeah, he's
but I think that's all what gives Chaplin, especially the fact that he doesn't really say much as his own character. And then
to me, that was a Harpo moment.
Yeah,
just mimicking.
Yeah,
all I could think of also was the character that Leonardo DiCaprio played in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when they cut to his version of the actor.
Right.
That looks interesting. I'm sure it'll end up in streaming. I'm glad we get one more Ray Liotta film. Although, I mean, Cocaine Bear was a good way to go out. If you're gonna finish out with Cocaine Bear, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know he was in Cocaine Bear. Shit.
Yeah. You can watch that on Peacock now. It's on Peacock.
Yeah, it's on Peacock. All right.
Well, I do have. I mean, so did you guys watch that new Flash trailer?
Yes.
No.
Clay, did you watch it? Okay, good.
No.
It's basically Batman 89 with the Flash.
Well, all right, to finish out the show, and we'll do recommendations real quick after this, but I just want to show you guys the Flash trailer, especially because Clay hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
I have noticed something about the Flash trailer because a friend of mine wanted me to watch this deep dive video, that one of the Flash costumes is actually a painted Batman 89 costume.
Yes. and
What?
one of the costumes, the CGI looks very bad. So let's take a look.
I lost my parents. That pain
Those knuckles.
made me who I am.
Oh,
spent my
I want that.
lifetime trying to right the wrongs of the past.
I need that toy.
As if
Yeah.
fighting crime would bring my parents back.
Is that Vicky?
Actually did it.
I'm not sure.
I think it's Batman. Then he
Can't
cuts his hair.
imagine what you've been
Yeah,
through.
that's what I was thinking too.
I love you, Monkey. You lost both parents
This kid
in one
definitely
day.
looks like a younger Ezra.
I'm also more aware of the yellow that Ezra's wearing.
Yeah.
Oh.
As one of the alternate flashes.
Instead, I completely broke the universe.
If you went back and changed the past, this world must die.
You changed the future.
Do you know what this symbol stands for?
Means hope, right?
I will help you fight Zod.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Now, see right there. That's it.
Oh, yep. Okay.
I'll go back in a minute, but yeah, that's the one with bad CGI too.
I have to
DC,
undo what I
get your
did.
CGI together. Fuck.
These scars we have make us who we are. I'm not meant to go back and fix them. Don't let your tragedy define you.
So bad there too.
Oh, I love that part.
No matter what we do, we're not going to be able to fix this. No! Nobody dies!
All the logos is so cool.
Yeah. This much.
You're strapped to your parachutes.
And where's yours?
Okay,
I see the.
but Cap did it better.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. No. True.
Cap
Yeah.
did it better.
Yeah. But did you see the bat plane in the moon?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah, I love it.
And the two berries have different light or speed force. One's
Yeah.
blue and one's yellow.
One's yellow. Yeah. I'm really. Oh, I'm sorry, Danny. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I need this film to do well because I want Warner Brothers to keep Kaye as Supergirl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to pull up the picture of the
suit.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, because also the speed force that the berry in the suit has is blue. It's not yellow. If you look at, see how it's.
Oh yeah.
Look at the logo. Can you close in on the logo? How it's
No, I
spray
can't.
painted?
But I can. But right here.
What do you mean? Oh, and then it's got the cowl protrusions. Oh, that's fascinating. So I guess the impression here is that the other Barry, the long-haired one that he meets, doesn't have a flash suit.
Yeah,
I think he doesn't even have powers. I think that
right.
We see a few
does it?
times.
Oh, okay.
He saved his mom, so it never happened.
Gotcha.
Supergirl also takes one of the berries up into the sky to maybe get hit by lightning.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I hate that this movie looks so good.
I know. I'm kind of in the same boat, but if it didn't have Keaton returning as Batman, I'd probably be like, I'm out. But he looks so good in it. I need more of him in my life.
It's weird to see. It's weird to see his Batman in such a colorful world, like in the daylight.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the Tim Burton movies was like all dark, grim and gloom. So,
do you think Keaton Batman dies in this?
I think so.
I probably so. Yeah.
There's also rumors of a third Batman showing up sometime, like somewhere in this film. Either Clooney or Bale. I don't know. I mean,
If it's
I wouldn't put
Clooney,
it
that
past
would
them.
be huge.
If it's
Bale, I would
Clooney, it would be huge. Yeah.
He said he would never return
Never.
to the franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's cool to do it, right? It's cool to do it again.
Dude, I mean, really, my wish is that when Batman finds out there's a multiverse, that we have every version of Batman come together in a room and
Just
have a
point at
round
each other.
table that's like basically the Illuminati of the multiverse that are just Batman.
The Council of I didn't even Leonard Kim, great point. The Batflick stuff that he does on this trailer. Oh,
Actually, what if, and this would kind of make sense, the third one is from the Batman. So they're actually like, okay, this is kind of canon. We're going to kind of wrap this in.
but like a way older version that we wouldn't see for a while.
No. Just bring in what's his face, like, because it'd be kind of cool to see. You have Ben Affleck, who is kind of this, not quite middle-aged Bruce Wayne. You've got an older Batman with Keaton, and then you bring in this young one, and you kind of have these like three different stages of Batmen in the film.
Well, like that, I mean, that was Jason Aaron's Thor. Like he had that moment in
Right.
Thor where he had his modern Thor, his younger version, and the older version, and what they could learn from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited about this film. I'm excited about Guardians.
What do you need to see in this Flash movie?
I don't even know. Like I've seen enough to like get in there. And because
I know, but they haven't spoiled everything. At least
Okay, I've got it. I need, and I feel like they are setting this up. I need Kara to resolve Zod in a different way. It's not going to be about murdering him. It's going to be about something else.
It looks like she
she
murdered him.
took a pipe to the face for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's a tell. I think that's not a tell, a swerve. A red herring. They're trying to set up. I think they need to redeem the Man of Steel by having her resolve it in a different way.
I think did we talk about it? Oh,
Yeah,
we
I think
talked about that. Did we talk about the Man of Steel last time, Clay?
No.
How I talked about that with somebody that I felt I don't remember what it was. I don't remember where it was either. I talked too much about Man of Steel apparently. But I don't know. Either way, I'm excited for this film. Which I didn't want to be, but here we are. So
Are we going to see Eobard Thawne, or are we going to see the future Flash, the future evil Flash as a villain in here? Because I feel like with the two Barrys, they were setting up a scenario where maybe he does give the powerless Barry powers, but maybe he loses his mom in doing so every time he does it, so he goes back to stop it again. Like he becomes the evil version. Is it Scimitar? Who's the evil version?
Savitar, yeah.
Okay.
We have seen some kind of dark Flash in the toys. So because the toys are already out. So yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I don't.
But they also go after. Isn't there demons from the Speed Force that go after, or am I
the Black Flash? That's the one that kills all the speedsters, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, because we're going to have people out of time in the multiverse. Are we going to see them show up? And that's what it looked like. Is they were coming after him to put him back in the time.
They put in so many different storylines from the comics that I don't even know where they could go. Really.
Right? Yeah.
Now, if they hadn't done Keaton Batman, I had heard, obviously if they had gone straight from the comic, they would have Thomas Wayne, which the only Thomas Wayne we've seen is
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Would it be as exciting to watch a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Batman?
If Jeffrey Dean Morgan shows up in this film, I'm also gonna lose my shit. That's what I want. Good call, Clay. Let me put that on the list.
He shows up at his Negan with his bat.
or do they bring in the guy that played Thomas Wayne from Joker that beats him up in the bathroom?
If they have the actress who played Maggie in The Walking Dead as the version of the Joker, because that's what happened in the Flashpoint event.
That's right.
Martha became the Joker. Oh my god.
Oh wow! God, yeah. See, now I want to see the Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne showdown.
The Flashpoint Batman.
Oh,
I still feel like if we're gonna get a non-Keaton, non-Affleck Batman, and if we're gonna get a Joker, it's gonna be from the movies, because I think they're really using this to just say, okay, we're both tying everything in and resetting it. So
hey, Jack Nicholson finally showed up at the Lakers game again.
no, it's gonna be Joaquin Phoenix's. I'm telling you, because they needed his little promo for Joker too. So
do they need
what
more?
Would be cool is if they do have, like, bring all the Batman together, the Council of Batmans at the end show up to and they go, okay, you're up first, and they have a CGI Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
And they put the Cesar Romero Joker on the wall, and they said, tell us everything you know about him. And
even better, what if it was the animated Batman from the Batman 66 ones, where they got him to do the voices the last time before he passed away? Right?
Yeah, I just would love to see a council of Batmans all comparing Jokers to be
Yeah.
able to fight them.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Well,
I don't know. This is a Batman movie with Flash in it.
That's it. That's kind of why I'm into it. So
How many times will Keaton repeat words from the original movie?
exactly.
I'm gonna put the over under at 10.
He's gonna at least say, "I'm Batman."
He's already done it twice in the trailers.
Did he say I'm Batman? Oh, he did. You're right. Shit, you're right. Yeah, in the last trailer, we already know he says, "Let's get nuts." But what are the other iconic lines? Those are
How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh?
How much do you weigh? Right, exactly. I'm just trying to think. I mean, there's not that many. You know, is he
Bat dance? If he does a bat dance, that would be cool.
I don't know. All I know is I plan to rewatch Batman '89.
See a trophy room reference to original Joker, maybe some chattering teeth.
That would be cool. That'd be very cool.
All the callbacks. I feel like there are going to be so many callbacks to things.
I feel like when they go to the Batcave, it's going to be like that scene in the movie version of Ready Player One, where when it comes out, you just pause it and you're like identifying everything in the background, you know? Yeah. So I'm just so glad to see that bat plane on screen, because that's my favorite. I love that bat plane.
I just love how it's set up in the cave.
Yeah, I know, just like falling down. It's gonna be great.
I want the toy. Whatever toy they make, I'll buy it.
Yeah, wasn't the original Batplane toy like it had almost like a gun barrel on the bottom so you could fly it around? I vaguely remember this.
I think I had the one I had was not from the first few movies. It was from the Schumacher movies. So
we don't talk about those.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's talk some recommendations real quick. My recommendation is going to be very quick. Batman 900, Batman 135, whatever you want to call it.
Council of Batmans.
Look at it. This is
that is a beautiful cover.
Joe Quinones' cover with all these Batman.
God, I love him. Can we just get him drawing Batman all the fucking time? Because he killed the Batman '89 book, and I mean that in a positive way. He fucking killed on it. He was so good.
I agree. I'm very excited. There's the story is really fun here.
Is this a hardback? Is it like the other anniversary ones?
No, it's only like 60 pages, so it'll probably be a regular issue.
Okay.
Because it's gonna complete the second arc of Zdarsky's run, right?
Oh God, I thought it was a standalone thing.
No. It's so you do have to read a little bit more. We get we've been getting Mike Hawthorne art, but now we also have Jorge Jimenez coming back. So there's multiple artists in this book. It is fantastic. I'm gonna actually drop a little preview later on in a channel. Do a little short.
Wait, hang on. That cover wasn't Quinones. It was Quesada.
Did I say Quinones?
You did.
Oh, that's my bad. Yeah, sorry, Joe Quesada.
I was still a beautiful cover. Don't get me wrong, but I was
I should have known. Asbats is over there in the back.
Yeah, Bat Night.
Yeah, you got everything. The Joker. I mean, the Batman Who Laughs. This black and white Batman.
Yeah,
The
you've
animated
got,
series one up here.
you've got the Gotham by Gaslight right there.
Yeah.
Nightfall.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond.
66 over there in the corner on the front.
Just all the cool ones.
I mean, isn't the center one the OG Batman?
Oh, and then Thomas Wayne Batman's right here. He's also there in the back, like under Beyond.
Oh, okay.
Right. Hell, the one on the bottom left isn't that the one from the serials, like the movie series?
Yeah.
And then the one above the Batman Who Laughs is like the OG one, right? From the first issue. So
the first one. Yep.
Yeah. That's a god. What do you say as a poster? Come on, DC. I want to buy that as a poster.
This is definitely the Russian one's also there from Red Sun.
Dude, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's a
Red Death Batman's running
okay.
up. Wow. Yeah, man. Joe Quesada fucking killed it on this.
He did.
Was this the vampire one?
Looks like it.
Oh man.
From Elseworlds. Oh yeah, with even the oh god, who's that artist that draws the food that way? Yeah, Kelly Jones. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, if this cover is a little bit of a hint of what to expect inside the pages. So, yeah, go check it out. So that's my recommendation. What do you guys got?
I've got
Clay.
This week available at the cheapest price is Rocket Raccoon, which takes you to Half World. This is the Bill Mantlo, Mike Mignola story that was 4 issues done back in the day. If you can't find the issues,
I remember that.
It's in hardback, but it's really expensive. So pick it up this week. It was $8.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's full color, but it's not trade paperback. So that's what made it cheaper.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's like a premium floppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Premium floppy. Has all 4 issues. Has Lila in it that it looks like we're going to see in Guardians 3 and Half World. And I'm not sure if they're going to incorporate this, but granted, it's a James Gunn movie. In Half World, they fight these clowns.
I think,
and it's really, really weird. So that's why I think Gunn loves it.
I think there was a clown in one of the trailers.
Oh, really?
But I don't know. I don't remember.
But yeah, so if you're curious on any of the comic book origins, this is the best one to pick up because it's really hard to find these 4 issues. Like I've been searching for the last couple of years, and I know that they're not expensive. I could probably buy them online, but I used to really enjoy going to comic book stores and cons, and just finding them. So.
Did they go up in price after the first Guardians movie? Like, did they become a key comic or anything?
I'm pretty sure most comics like get a little bump once they have a live action.
Yeah.
And did you guys see Bradley Cooper out promoting Guardians this week? This is the first time I think he's attended the premiere and everything.
He did go. I didn't see him in any of the pictures. I saw Vin Diesel. He was all over the place with his Groot jacket.
Yes, the Groot jacket is fantastic. But yeah, him and.
But I didn't see Bradley Cooper at all. Like
he was very dressed, like he wasn't suited up or anything, just very casual. Sean Gunn was there, and he was like all suited up in like this white.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't really seem very involved in like a lot of the marketing or anything of these movies. But I guess this could be like, I mean, this is the final one for everyone. So.
Yeah, and I love that they put together character posters. Have y'all seen these? I thought I might have posted them in chat, but they all look fucking fantastic, especially like the Kraglin one.
Interesting.
Nice. All right, Josh.
All right. So mine. So I missed Record Store Day this year. Yep, that's it. And
you have it here.
Yeah. So I ran by, but no, you found it. It's great. I ran by Good Records, and I was just kind of going through the remnants of. They had one copy of this, The Amazing World of Doctor Who, and the thing I really love about this is such a weird thing. It is 2 LPs. All right.
Oh, hold on.
And basically, what it's taking articles that were originally published in issues of of.
Put it back up. Put it back up.
Yeah, sorry.
Every time I blow you up, you put
Okay,
it back up.
I put it down. Published in issues of I'm trying to find it. Hang on. Like the Doctor Who annual, and then a special book called The Amazing World of Doctor Who. And these basically came out right when Tom Baker took on the role. And so what it is it's people basically narrating the articles from these annuals. And they add like music and sound effects. It's super fun. It's really weird, but I just kind of love it. I couldn't pass up anything that was like, you know, a callback to the old 70s Tom Baker era of Doctor Who. And just as an exclusive for Record Store Day, I had to pick it up.
Josh, I'm gonna recommend something that you probably won't be able to get.
Right, yeah, I did worry about that, but I bring it up because, again, like my store still had a copy left. I can't imagine these things flying off the shelves unless it's like Kyle or me or someone.
Doctor Who fans are pretty hardcore. So.
Yeah,
it's true, and to their credit, because they do Record Store Day in the UK as well, they almost always release a Doctor Who exclusive for that day.
Nice.
Good Records has some of the past ones that include the more contemporary Doctors that are just like audiobooks on vinyl. The Big Finish that does a lot of the and have been doing the modern kind of, I say audiobooks, they're like radio plays. They've been releasing vinyl versions as well, and Good Records has those. But I had to get this kind of callback one. So
cool.
Anyway, yeah, should be
All
good.
right. Well, cool. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for joining us. Leave us some comments and all that stuff. Make sure to subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And I have to go to use the restroom, so there's no outro today. Bye.